There's no cure for racing. You're not even going broke. The only cure for racing is the end of our lives, not the end of our career.
By far the best series I've ever raced in, dollar for dollar. I can race all year on a quarter what it would cost me to run anything else.
Here you can beat it out or make a new one and be back the next week. And it's really an affordable series. I really like it.
It's nice to come back, and have the car slide around and, put it back in the driver's hands. I like that.
Hi, everybody. I'm Olivia Pritchett, and we are so excited to wrap up the 2018 racing season with a bang. We are going to have a race within a race, and there are no points involved. The top finisher who has never won a previous series race will be recognized with a custom-made trophy. It's going to be a 60-lap race, and it is all happening at one of our favorite tracks. Welcome to Dominion Raceway.
All right, you are, Olivia. A beautiful track here at Dominion Raceway. Hello, everybody. I'm Gene Crane, along with Olivia Pritchett. It's Super Cup Stock Car Series action. Tonight, the Duels at Dominion Twin 60s, the second of the duels, presented by Racing Radios. Field is rolled out, and let's take a look at our starting grid as we ride along with the 21 of Stephen Cox. He'll start outside row 1 alongside pole sitter Brent Nelson in car number 80. Ben Ebling flashed onto the Super Cup scene a couple of years ago, went straight to victory lane, and has had a strong 2018. The 44 starts inside row 2. And Ron Langdon in the 17 out of New York, one of those competitors eligible for that first-time winner's trophy here this evening. He's also had a strong 2018 season. Kevin Cromer starts the 77 on the inside of row number 3, and Denver, North Carolina's Larry Wilcox brings the 6 to the outside of that third row. Lauren Butler, former track champion over at Jennerstown Speedway. The young lady starts the 53 on the inside of row number 4, and alongside her, the veteran Mike Potter out of Tennessee in car number 14. Row 5 on the inside, J.J. Pack, car number 90. They worked on that car between the brakes. That car damaged during race number 1 right at the very end of that event. We'll see how they've been able to repair that car. And Hayden Brothers in car number 27 starts on the outside of row number 5. Field off of turn 4, looking to the flag stand for a green flag. Here is Nelson and Cox. Bring him to green. Green is in the air, and down to turn 1 they go, and it's Nelson who'll get the advantage down in turn 1. Stephen Cox drops into that second spot. Ron Langdon from the outside of row number 2 will go to third. Leaders off of turn 4 for the first time, and Langdon putting the pressure on Cox, takes a look to the inside as they cross start finish. Battle for second heats up right away here at Dominion Raceway. Leaders down that back straightaway. Nelson out to a 4, 5, maybe 6 car length advantage into turn 3, riding along with Ben Ebling as he trails that second place battle. Langdon trying to look to the inside of Stephen Cox, can't make it work just yet. The two right nose to tail at the exit of the corner, and here comes Ebling. Ebling to the outside of turn 3, and Ron Langdon can't make that work. He'll drop back into the 4th spot. And here is the 90 car. Looks like J.J. Pack, the damage from race number 1 may have been a little bit too much for him to continue. Pack headed to pit road, and obviously more work on car number 90. Here is Langdon. He's been bypassed by Ben Ebling. Off of turn 4, Ebling to third, now challenging Cox for second, down in turn 1. Nelson has not had a challenge from the drop of the green flag, but this second place race has been a dandy. Langdon now back to that 4th position, watching Ebling. Ebling trying to size up Stephen Cox. Meanwhile, Brent Nelson, nothing but clear racetrack ahead of him, and car number 80 here in the early going of these Twin 60s, second of the Twin 60s here at Dominion Raceway. Nelson's car locked down as it works out of turn 4, looking good as we head to break. Brent Nelson, your race leader. Stephen Cox trying to hold off Ben Ebling for second. Kevin Cromer just got by Ron Langdon for 4th. And Ron Langdon rounding out your top 5. We'll be back to Dominion right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Performance Fiberglass Products and by 303. Keeps your car looking new longer. Super Cup Stock Car Series action, Dominion Raceway, second of Twin 60s, presented by Racing Radios here this evening. Battle is for second. Ben Ebling trying to get to the inside of the 21 of Stephen Cox. He'll move him up the racetrack, and off of turn 2, looks like Ebling is going to get the advantage. Ben Ebling up to second in the 44. Stephen Cox back to third, being pressured by the 77 of Kevin Cromer. And Ron Langdon, as we ride along with Ron Langdon, to the mix. 3-car battle for third. Everybody chasing the 80 of Brent Nelson. Nelson jumped out front from the drop of the green flag and has not looked back. Nelson out to a 10, maybe 12-car length advantage over the 44 of Ebling. Langdon gets by Stephen Cox. He'll take over fourth. They head down that back straightaway. Ron Langdon trying to size up the 77 of Kevin Cromer. Here's Nelson across start finish, and J.J. Pack retired the car. Olivia is with him.
What's going on?
We got a broken truck arm, so I didn't want to just mess anything up. So we knew it was broke before we went out, so we just wanted to make a lap.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
The damage from race number 1 apparently sidelines J.J. Pack in the 90 car here in race number 2. J.J. Pack will have the offseason to get what is always a competitive car ready for next season in Super Cup. Also hear rumors they may be working on their Speedway car and might be planning to head to Daytona for the ARCA opener down there next season as well. Brent Nelson ahead of him, nobody behind him. Ben Ebling in car number 44 that's looming larger and larger in that rear view mirror. Car might have a little bit of a push, starting to see a little glow on the left rear rotor of the 80 car. Ron Langdon up to fourth and leads in the first-time winners category. That trophy to be awarded later on tonight at the checkered flag of race number 2. But Ebling continuing to close in on the race leader, Brent Nelson, and that car number 80. Closed in and gone by Hayden Brothers in the 27 car. So head down to turn number 3. Ebling closing in. The brothers sharing the 27, and we talked to them earlier about their trip to the Super Cup Series.
Oh, we raced dirt go-karts. They were champ carts. They had a cage around them. You were belted in and everything. We also raced Motorama, which is an indoor karting race. I won at that track. I've been racing go-karts for 5 years. And then Jason Schul asked us if we wanted to drive his car, and we said yes, and we liked it, so we got our own.
Why do you guys love racing? How did this all start?
It just started with a little go-kart, and then we just liked it and decided we wanted to do more and just worked our way up here.
Seeing a lot of different routes into full-size stock car racing, whether it's go-karts or legend cars or a wide variety of different things. Heck, I've even seen RC car racers make their way up into the touring ranks of modified racing. So there's no telling what path you'll take. Right now, the path for Ben Ebling is to the front. He and Kevin Cromer, they worked by Lauren Butler in the 53 car, have closed in on the 80 of Brent Nelson. It's about to become a 3-car battle up front for the race lead. Nelson back to turn 1. Ebling rides about a car length back. Another car length back is Kevin Cromer in that 77 car. Ebling watching the 80 of Nelson. Nelson's car continues to ride up. Cannot quite get into the corner quite as well as the 44, but Ebling's car rotates nicely in the center of the corner and stays on the bottom here. A good example as we ride with Kevin Cromer. Ebling's car, wide entrance there to turn 3, taking a look to the inside of Brent Nelson. As we head to break, lead battle continues to intensify with Nelson, Ebling, Cromer, Langdon, and Cox. Your top 5. Don't go away. More from Dominion right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Racing Radios and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. There's Cody Robaugh working on car 21 for Stephen Cox. Robaugh most likely to be very busy in the offseason, getting a truck and perhaps an ARCA car ready for Daytona. At least we presume that. Duels at Dominion Twin 60s. This is race number 2 of the 2 presented by Racing Radios here in Thornburg, Virginia. The leaders work back to 3 and 4. Brent Nelson showing the way as he has from the drop of the green flag, nearing the halfway point. And Ben Ebling has closed in along with Kevin Cromer. 3-car freight train not far back is the 17 of Ron Langdon in that 4th position. Top 3 head back to turns 3 and 4. Nelson showing the way. That car has been getting tighter going up the racetrack, not wanting to turn in quite as well for Brent Nelson, so he's been cranking a little more rear brake in it, trying to free it up. You can see the rotor glowing just a little bit, and he goes up the racetrack. Nelson opens the door. Here's Ben Ebling ready to pounce. He'll put the 44 to the inside, and down in turn one, Ben Ebling challenges and takes the lead. So the 44 of Ebling to the front. Kevin Cromer, just not enough room to be able to stick the nose in there and follow him through. Cromer will have to settle for third behind Nelson as they go back to turns 1 and 2. But Nelson's car got into turn 3 just a little bit hot, went up the racetrack, and that's all Ben Ebling needed to drive by and take over the race lead. Leaders off the corner. There's Langdon closing in as well. Top 4. Back to turns 1 and 2. Here's the 21 of Stephen Cox in that 5th position. Ron Langdon right now, though, in that 4th position. The first of the drivers eligible for the first-time winner's trophy to be presented at the checkered flag tonight. Langdon's put together a great 2018 season. Right now, it's Nelson and Cromer battling for the 2nd position back to turn 3. And Ebling trying to sprint away from those two. First-time winners award, something that the Super Cup tries to award to drivers who have yet to make it to victory lane in Super Cup competition. And earlier, we talked to media coordinator Aaron Creed about this award.
Any drivers that have not previously won a Super Cup race, the top finisher among them will receive a custom trophy from our series partner, Extreme Awards and Personalization. It's a beautiful trophy. The handful of drivers that are going to be going for that are going to be looking for something that they can take home before the season's out as well, and something, you know, to get that boost going into 2019, so that during the regular season, when the new season starts, they can contend for the win and call themselves Super Cup Stock Car Series winners.
Well, last year it was Bob Schacht who picked up that trophy and then went on a tear here at the beginning of the season to become our season champion here in the Super Cup Series. Right now, Ben Ebling, he's no stranger to victory lane as well. He is out front and wanting to head back to victory lane in Super Cup competition. Behind him, now maybe a half a throw. We got one going around. It is the 27 of Hayden Brothers. He'll swap ends out of turn 4. That brings out the caution. First caution of the evening shown here at Dominion Raceway for Hayden Brothers. Here's a look at our premier tracks in the Super Cup Stock Car Series. Some really great racetracks here. Midvale Speedway, long time track on the schedule, along with Kingsport, Dominion Raceway, Jennerstown Speedway. There's many other fine racetracks looking at the Super Cup Series in the future, and look forward to them being added to the schedule as well. Field is shaped up and set for a restart. You can check out more information and the upcoming schedule at supercupstockcarseries.com, or just Google SCSCS in your search engine, and it should pop right up there to the top. Here's Ben Ebling taking the lead, and it was Cromer using the choose rule to start on the outside to drop into that 2nd spot. So it's Ebling and Cromer, your top 2. Brent Nelson back to 3rd. Ron Langdon continues to run 4th, and Stephen Cox in that 6th position. More Super Cup action from Dominion coming your way right after this. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Lincoln Welders and by Sta-Bil Oil Stabilizer. Prevent corrosion above and below the oil line. Super Cup Stock Car Racing action at Dominion Raceway. Gene Crane, along with Olivia Pritchett, bringing you the action here in the Duels at Dominion Twin 60s, presented by Racing Radios. Battle up front is a 2-car battle. Kevin Cromer has stayed glued to the rear bumper of the 44 of Ben Ebling. Used to have put a little distance between themselves and Brent Nelson. Ron Langdon. Back to turns 1 and 2 they go. Ben Ebling taking a late entry into turn 1 and straightening out the exit of turn 2. Trying to get a little better run up off the corner and put some distance between himself and Kevin Cromer. Cromer, though, his car stays to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got a good handling car right now, and that's evident as he stays glued to that rear bumper cover. Down the back straightaway they go. Cromer just looking for the opportunity to get to the inside as they work off the corner to start-finish once again. Just not quite enough room for Kevin Cromer to make a run at Ben Ebling. Stays glued to that rear bumper cover back to turn number 3. Good battle here. Anybody makes a mistake, and there's going to be a change in leadership. Further back, there's Nelson along with Ron Langdon. 3rd and 4th. Stephen Cox in that 5th position. Ron Langdon currently the leader in that first-time winners category for that special trophy later on this evening. And we go on board with Ron Langdon. He's had a great 2018 season. Pretty good short track pilot from up in New York. Made the shift to the Super Cup Series, and we talked to him about winning.
We always want to win. That's what we come here for. But bring it home in one piece and have some fun. That's the name of the game for this. So we come here, you know, we're all competitive. That's why we're here. And we all want to win. But if you can't win, you might as well have a blast doing it. You know, we keep making changes. We just, you know, and I take what the car gives me. I try not to do any more than what the car has because I need to keep this car in one piece. And we come out for the second one when it's a little cooler. We should be a lot better. So that's what, you know, that's what gets the checkered flag. So we'll go up for the second one.
I like the way the man thinks. He's a hard racer, but he's also a smart racer and takes what the car will give him. Up front, Ben Ebling taking everything his car will give him, and that's a bit of an advantage over second place Kevin Cromer after Cromer was putting the pressure on. Brett Nelson back in 3rd, Langdon in 4th. Stephen Cox as we ride along with Stephen Cox in that 5th position. Ron Langdon up alongside the 6th car of Larry Wilcox. Larry Wilcox out of Denver, North Carolina, a longtime competitor with the Super Cup Series. Also has not been to victory lane in his career. But earlier this year had some adversity and has had to bring a different race car here to Dominion Raceway.
Heard our first car, destroyed it at Midvale, and now we had to bring out our second car. So it's been a complicated year for us, unfortunately.
So tell me about this new car.
I've had it for a couple years, but we haven't had it out until just this year. This is the second race with it now this year. It's a whole different chassis, one we built ourselves basically, so we're still working out all the bugs. We had to go to a little bit stiffer spring with this car and stuff, but we think we got it under control now.
So Wilcox continues in that 6th car, as does Ben Ebling. Ebling showing the way, looking towards a checkered here as the laps wind down at Dominion Raceway in the Duels at Dominion Twin 60s presented by Racing Radios. It's Ebling, Cromer, Nelson, Langdon, and now Mike Potter up to that 5th position. Don't go away. We'll be right back. The Super Cup Stock Car Series is brought to you by Patrick Miller Photography and by G-Force Racing Gear, your home for quality, innovation, and value. Super Cup Stock Car Series action from Dominion Raceway, Thornburg, Virginia. The Duels at Dominion Twin 60s presented by Racing Radios, the second of the Twin 60s. Ben Ebling took over the race lead just past the halfway point. The cross start finish should see the 2 to go signal. Ebling showing the way out of turn 2, a distance back after putting some pressure on Ben Ebling is Kevin Cromer in that 77 car. Here's Ebling off the corner, white flag in the air, final time around for the driver out of Hickory, North Carolina. The team owned by Mike Potter out of Kingsport, Tennessee. They head to turn 3, looking to go to victory lane for the first time here, fourth time in 2018. Off of turn 4 is Ben Ebling, and Ebling will take the win. Kevin Cromer will finish in that 2nd spot. Ron Langdon will finish 4th, and with it, pick up the first-time winners trophy here this evening. Ben Ebling will burn out for the crown here at Dominion Raceway as he'll make his way to start finish, and Olivia Pritchett for victory lane celebrations. Here's your winner out of the car. Olivia, let's hear from our winner.
Ben Ebling, awesome job. Again, talk to me how you got to the front.
It's just biding our time and just getting those guys. Brent was really good. The 77 was really good. He was putting a lot more pressure on me there towards the end than I was ready for, I guess. But just making sure the tires were underneath of us and we were there at the end of the race. We had to do some changes there between races, and just glad it worked out for us. Just thanks to the sponsors, SwanniesAutoSales.net, Startown Carpet and Floor Covering, and Battery Specials of Hickory, Wrench Rags, all the people that helped me. My wife, my great, wonderful spotter. Just thank all the people that make it possible to bring it here.
You worn out?
I am a little worn out.
Great job.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Ben Ebley on his win tonight, receiving the trophy from Series Director Joe Schmaling. Big kiss from the wife. Let's hear from Ron Langdon.
Hey, congratulations. Walk me through your night.
Oh, we went to junk in the first race. We didn't know why. And we came in and found out we had 2 tires that were going flat. So I drove my butt off in this one. I thought I had a shot, but we're off a little bit. Just a little bit, but we're close. We're really close. This is great. This is to be able to compete with these guys. This is a dream for me. To be able to race basically these types of cars has been my dream my entire life. And I know the stage isn't huge, but it's big enough for me.
Oh, we are so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good job down there.
All right, Kevin Cromer, second place. Good job. You were fast tonight. What changed from the last visit here?
A new car, new motor. That's about what it sums up to. Yeah, we were pretty good tonight. The second race, we were a whole lot better. The first race, I got a flat tire with 10 to go. I got under him twice. I did everything I could do to try and get him without spinning him out, and I wasn't going to do that to win the race. And then we had the spare right rear on, and it just went away there near the end, and the lap traffic, played into his favor a little bit. Played into mine once or twice, but more his. But we had a good run, and I'm real happy with it. We're going home in one piece. I'm ahead of the game for next year.
Couple of happy dudes right there. Ben Ebley, your race winner. Cromer, Nelson, Langdon, and Potter, your top 5. Cox, Butler, Wilcox, Brothers, and J.J. Pack round out your top 10. We heard from Ron Langdon. Hey, I like the way that dude races. He's a pretty cool guy. We'll go forward to seeing him in victory lane very soon. He wins the first-time winners trophy here tonight. Check all the action out on SuperCupStockCarSeries.com. The upcoming schedules for Olivia Pritchett and the entire Sopwith Motorsports crew. I'm Gene Crane, and we'll see you next time.